Good morning and welcome back to Almus Market Mornings. A relatively quiet day yesterday without any major economic data, but markets did see the weakness in the dollar continue, and for a change, rupee strengthened towards the close by almost 30 paise. Markets are awaiting some more economic data, including the meeting between President Trump and Putin on Friday along with the NFP. Good morning, JK. What are your thoughts going into the early weekend? Are we finally going to see some strength in the rupee, and your thoughts on the other updates?
Hey, good morning, Swaraj. Yes, as you said, there wasn't much of an economic data yesterday, but there is enough of statements from key officials that actually keeps the market alert and on its toes, and that continued yesterday also. Trump said that he will be naming a new chairman very early, and he's down to three or four names. Market keenly looks forward to the name. Then, of course, Treasury Secretary said, following up his statement that 50 basis point cut was needed, he also said that, actually we should be 150 to 175 basis points lower in the rates. And so he's calling for a series of rate cuts now, and apart from 50 basis points in September. The market itself, according to FedWatch tool, is discounting near 100% probability of a rate cut in September. Although we do have a couple of cautious voices from the Fed, Goolsby and Bostic. They are cautious that the tariff-led inflation may not be temporary. But in my own view, I think September is certainly a live meeting, and it's going to be a discussion on a rate cut, and might well happen on September. May not be 50 basis points. Now, of course, market is also looking at the fact that some extraordinary ideas are emerging in the markets. Like there is some suggestion that the Bureau of Labor Statistics should suspend monthly jobs report, and it's been, of course, struck down by the Treasury Secretary immediately. But this suggestion has come from the chief economist of here, one of the think tank. Recently, saying that the monthly jobs report and relying instead on quad suspending the monthly jobs report and relying instead on quarterly data for an indefinite period. Now, this is one data that has been produced every month since the end of World War II and continued even during the pandemic, and that's a major disruption in the information about the economy that we will experience if that is done. So I'm saying, while this is not going to happen, and no, there is no official approval for such a change, but such things also keep the markets on on their toes. So that was the how it is. Yes, while we did not have data yesterday, much data yesterday, but market will have enough to chew in the coming two sessions. Like we have the Eurozone GDP, another look at the US inflation, the PPI, and where both the headline and the core are expected to really show higher number. Market has been, rejoicing the moderate increase in the CPI number, but CPI could throw up some nasty surprise also. And macro data from China, retail sales, industrial production, GDP, employment. And finally, of course, the US retail sales and Michigan survey preliminary output that will be coming up tomorrow. So a lot to chew upon in the coming days. And also, we have a long weekend. This is long weekends. Generally, dealers after hectic trading do look forward to long weekends. But this time, perhaps the long weekend is also some sort of a uneasiness, because 3 day period you can actually have some big things happening. This is particularly for Indian traders, I'm saying, because we are closed for Independence Day on Friday. So, and the way rupee is right now, I think we might suddenly see some big change also, due to some global news, or any other developments also. And we have, of course, the Trump-Putin meeting, which is scheduled tomorrow at Alaska, and some sort of a positive vibes are emerging. Of course, we can never say about the outcomes, particularly when Trump is involved. We cannot predict what the outcome will be. Yes, the dollar has made one more leg lower across the major currencies, and this is definitely due to increased expectations of rate cut in the September meeting by Fed, and perhaps more into the future meetings, and yields dropping across the curve. in US, and also these statements about FTR rate cuts to come from uh, Treasury Secretary. All of this actually resulting in a dollar not seeing really anything to support it, and so by default, market keeps selling the dollars. So we've seen the euro cross 1.17. Although we've been looking for some more consolidation or a correction in the dollar, that's not really happening because fundamental news is not really supportive of that. Yes, of course, it has not made a new low, but it still seems to be more on a weakening side. And of course, the crypto currency, the Bitcoin also made a new high yesterday. So that trend, I think, is set to continue unless data today and tomorrow surprises and give some better news about the US economy. I think this trend is likely to continue. As far as Indian rupee is concerned, yes, we had a sell-off yesterday, a late evening sell-off, and I think some trigger came from nationalized bank selling. And one of the reasons I feel is that talk of large amount of fiscal support that the government is thinking about to support the export sector, which is hit by the high tariff that is imposed by the US government. In fact, this has actually resulted in the Indian bond market sell-off. The bond yields have, gone to 4-month high on concerns that government may actually increase their borrowings to fund potential fiscal stimulus in response to the steep US tariffs. And this is actually some sort of a new development that's happened recently, and that also is seen as a positive for the currency because the fiscal support would probably maintain the export sector going, and perhaps no major fallout on the GDP. That's the reason why probably the rupee could have strengthened with some help from the PSU bank selling. But actually, if you look at the flow, the FIs were once again sellers of more than 3,000 crores. And you could also say that, as I said earlier, the Trump-Putin meeting may result in some positive outcome leading to the sanction related to Russian oil imports being removed. That's one possibility. And 87, 80, 70 being so strongly resisted so far could have resulted some long unwinding also. So we head into a long weekend in India. And of course, we could come in on Monday staring at some big developments as well. Let's wait and see. Thank God it's Friday. Thank you.
Thank you, JK. And just quickly summarizing, markets are still pricing a 25 basis point cut for the September meeting as of now. Treasury Secretary Besant has been saying that rates should be 150 basis points down from the current levels and thinks a 50 basis point cut is appropriate for the September meeting. President Trump has been saying that he would be naming a new Fed chairman early, and he's down to 3 or 4 odd names. When it comes to the rupee, we have seen rupee participate in the dollar weakness after some late afternoon sell-off, helped by the PSU banks. Late afternoon strength, I'm sorry to say, helped by the PSU banks. Indian bond yields are also moving higher, an important development.
Moving lower, actually. Bond yields are higher.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah, bond yields, Indian bond yields are moving higher on possible fiscal stimulus to support the export sector. That's it from us today. Thanks for listening. Have a good long weekend. We'll catch up on Monday with the fresh round of updates.